Hi everyone. In this tutorial we're going to just take a look at setting up a canvas as well as how to make some basic shapes. So I'm just going to go to File, New, and this will allow me to basically set up my canvas. You can see my machine's running very slow. Yours will probably run even slower, but anyway. We have everything set up already as we would like it. I usually just set this to letter, which will change this to 8.5 by 11 inches. You can see we are set to inches. The units are inches. We always want to make sure this is set to inches. And generally, we will use this size unless I tell you otherwise, in which you can just change it here. So maybe you want 8.5 by 8.5. It still stays with inches. Obviously, the orientation will stay the same either way there, but we have landscape and we have portrait, just in case. I'll just go back to letter and hit OK. So this is your actual canvas, this white shape here. And all we're going to do is play with some shapes. You can see I have this tool here. This is my rectangle tool. I'm clicking and holding on it, and it allows us to see all the other shapes that we can quickly make. I'm just going to go ahead and draw a rectangle, and I'm clicking and dragging. If I click off of it with my black mouse, the selection tool, you can see it's just a rectangle. Over here we have the colors that were used. This is our fill, which is white. Take a look. The square is a white fill, right? You can't see it. And then it has a black stroke. Obviously you can see the black stroke there. If I go ahead and click that shape, you can take a look over here. We can change those colors. We can flip-flop them using this arrow. See, it says swap, fill, and stroke. That simply flips them. In some cases, you might not even want a color to be there. So again, I'm going to flip them so it's black. And I can click on my stroke here so it's active. And then I can click on this little line here with the red line through it and select none. So now it has nil out. Simple. All of your shapes work like this. And we're going to use pretty much all of these shapes. The only one we won't use quite as much will be your flare tool. I'm just going to stick it off to the side. A lot of students love this shape, but you can make that on your own, which you'll learn eventually. The only other thing that's really important about these shapes is understanding what you can do with them. So you can go ahead and grab this path over here and you can make things thinner. You can make things thicker. So you can edit the size of all these. Go from the corner and drag down. Very simple. You can even rotate. If I click on that shape and I go to the outside of it, I can rotate. There's also all sorts of keyboard shortcuts we'll take a look at. Real quick, I'll go over a few of them. I'm going to hold down Shift while I'm making this rectangle. You can see now I have a perfect square. This works for all the tools again. If I go to Circle this time, I'm holding Shift and I'm just making a circle. I let go of Shift. So if I'm changing the size, you can see it's not staying proportional. But I'm going to hold Shift, and look what happens. It now stays proportional. You can also hold Shift when moving objects. So if I'm moving the square around, you can see I can move it anywhere right now. I'm going to hold Shift, and I'm moving it straight across. Maybe 45 degrees this direction. Straight up. 45 degrees this direction. Okay, so this all works in straight or 45-degree angles. Besides that, there aren't too many other keyboard shortcuts that you should focus on here. You might want to practice zooming in and zooming out, which is Control plus, Control minus. But we'll take a look at everything else. If you already know how to copy and paste, you can do so. You can simply go to Edit, Copy, or you can see here it's Control C, and paste is Control V. We'll use those as well. So you can get used to using Control C and Control V. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. But that's the end of this tutorial on shapes.